Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Centennial Conference Corner. My name is Amber Thomas, and today I'm with Jessica Lopez, a Haverford track and field team graduate and Centennial Conference nominee for the NCAA Woman of the Year Award. How are you doing today, Jessica?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. So 2021 grad, you're now living that post-graduation life. What have you been up to?
Yeah, so since graduation, I have taken some much needed time to rest and recover from what was, for me, and I think for a lot of other people, a really challenging year, and specifically for me, a challenging senior year. It brought pain as well as a renewed sense of capacity, of strength and love and hope as well. So I was lucky enough to be able to spend some time back on the West Coast after graduation, hug some of my extended family for the first time in like a year and a half, including my grandparents, which was really special. I also spent some time in Utah, specifically Zion National Park, which was awesome. If you haven't had a chance to go, I really highly recommend it. I was with some of my friends, some of the women from AOCC. I'm actually repping the shirt right now, which is the Athletes of Color Coalition, which is the coalition I started alongside my dear and like brilliant friends, Jazz and Reed. And I also spent some time preparing for the move to New York City, and I am currently in New York City now. I started my next chapter in healthcare consulting and have been working and living in New York since then for a couple of months now.
That definitely seems like an exciting couple of months.
Yes, absolutely.
So thinking back to your time at Haverford, you were able to accomplish so much. You were a 12-time All-Centennial honoree. Like you said, you started the Athlete of Color Coalition. What did it feel like when you found out that you were nominated for the NCAA Woman of the Year Award?
Yeah, when I first found out that I was nominated for, this wonderful award by Haverford, I felt really grateful. And again, the stuff here at Haverford was not like the smoothest, not the most easy year. So definitely felt like one way to look back on 4 years of growth, athletically, academically, and personally. When I heard about Centennial Conference's nomination of myself and also my peer Kaylin Brandt, who I want to also personally acknowledge and congratulate. Again, I was grateful that this nomination was unexpected, and so it was just sweet, and I got to celebrate with my family and friends. And this most recent nomination, I was again like grateful for top 30 or top 10 in Division III, but it was even like more unexpected than the previous nomination, which again made it all the more wonderful. And again, I just want to extend a huge congratulations to all the other nominees and whom are very deserving, I'm sure. And I'm just looking forward to celebrating with those I love.
Yeah. So as we talk about celebrating women, this year the conference, along with so many others, are celebrating the 50th anniversary of Title IX. What does Title IX mean to you?
Yeah, so Title IX means a lot to me. I remember my mom telling me when I was growing up, she and my dad drove me from soccer practice to gymnastics to softball to baseball, and yes, like baseball because I wanted to play with boys, to go out there and just try my best and to also just appreciate being able to be out there. I think my mom reminded me that when she was little, she didn't have the chance to play for her high school team or to kind of like be involved in ways that boys were able to. And so that was something that resonated with me growing up. And when I was 12, my parents supported me like for trying out for the boys flag football team at my middle school. And I ended up making the team as a running back. I was the only girl because everyone else played like volleyball. But I managed like again to make the team, and I will never forget the first play that I was out there. I ran a counter, which is kind of like a misdirection play. And I was the first play of the game, and I scored a touchdown, like having this like guy on the other team chased me to the end zone, and it was just kind of like one of the moments I look back on in sports and be like, wow, that was just incredible. And from now on, like at my middle school, South Pasadena Middle School, I think a girl has tried out for the team almost every year now. So
That's
I'm
exciting.
super happy about that. And I think also I want to bring attention to the fact that obviously you mentioned this is the 50th anniversary of this passage of Title IX, and that's super special, first of all. To be clear, like Title IX for me also signifies potential for like even more progress and change to occur within sports, and therefore like also within the world. It means like hopefully my transgender sisters, brothers, siblings can compete without prohibition or fear. It means that hopefully BIPOC women, and specifically Black women, will be able to stop having their natural abilities curtailed to satisfy the standards that weren't engineered for them or with them in mind. It means equal pay. It means that hopefully like girls and women are protected in sports like gymnastics, because everyone deserves the right to live out their dreams, again, without risk of abuse or assault or fear. So it means a lot, but it also means, hopefully more for the future.
Yeah. Always celebrate today, but have hope for a better tomorrow, for sure.
Absolutely.
So you already had this amazing 4 years of college. As we look toward the future, fill in the blank for us. In 5 years, Jessica Lopez will be.
Okay, so I think in 5 years, Jessica Lopez will be growing more, striving for love and happiness, and trying to make every place she goes better, more equitable. I think hopefully Jessica Lopez will also be a loving daughter, granddaughter, sister, niece, sibling, friend, mentee, mentor, hopefully. And I don't know, I just also want to thank like all the people that like make me, my mom and dad, Chris, my brother, my uncles, my aunts, cousins in LA and South Carolina, my beautiful grandparents living and not living, supporters, friends, mentors. I don't know. I just hope in 5 years that I have even more of those people and continue to cherish and love, and also just be alive and healthy, because if the pandemic has shown us anything, it's that like we can't take that for granted.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you'll continue to make us all proud. So before I let you go, we always have to get some questions out to get to know you a little bit better. So I have to know, what was your favorite track event?
Oh my gosh. So when I was at Haverford, I ran everything from the 60 to the 400 relays and triple jump. And growing up in California, I never actually did indoor track because there was no need for indoor track because it was always sunny and beautiful and warm. So I think I just grew to love the 60-meter dash and the indoor 4x2, the indoor 2. There's just something about racing around a 200-meter track that's so great. And I'm little, I'm 5 foot. And so I always felt like it kind of gave me a small advantage to be able to kind of like bend around those tight curves. So definitely I would say indoor track and specifically like the 60 and the 4x2 and the 200 for sure.
And indoors, those are fun to watch too. As a former thrower, I'm like,
so fun, the energy. It's so palpable. And like, I love outdoor track. I mean, I grew up doing outdoor track primarily, but like there's something about being in a small building with everyone 2 feet from the track in like the last 4x4 and Centennial Conference Championships. Like there's something crazy about that feeling. So yeah, irreplaceable, irreplaceable in terms of creating those energy moments again in my lifetime. So yeah.
So if you had to pick one song that was like your life anthem, what would it be?
Oh my gosh. I'm just like looking at my Spotify really quickly so I get the name right. But I'll describe it. So it's just about like loving yourself and feeling beautiful. And yeah, so I think it's called Heat, but maybe there's another. Oh no, Worth It. It's called Worth It. So kind of, you know, you're worth it. Everyone's worth it. We're all worth it. Kind of vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. So who is your biggest inspiration?
Oh my gosh. Definitely my mom and my dad, truly. I mean, these people birthed me, but they also are just like warriors. I think my friends, just especially friends from AOCC, like it's truly a coalition that was built and run and continues to be run by women, as most revolutions are. So I think mostly just like the women in my life are my heroes, and the people that I constantly look up to and the people that inspire me, and also my brother, who I love very much.
Yeah. So looking back at your time at Haverford, what was your biggest life lesson from college?
I think that actual change is possible. I mentioned and alluded to the fact that this year wasn't the easiest. And I think with the grappling of all of the inequities that exist and that have existed in our country, you know, since the beginning of time, Haverford met its challenge this year. We had a strike due to some really incredible, like, BIPOC FGLI organizers. And I think never in my wildest dreams did I imagine that systemic change was like possible within an institution, because Haverford is an old place. And so I think that moment was really, really inspiring for me. And I'm an anthropology major, so I study systems, and like there's kind of this phrase that the head of our department kind of tells us in our intro classes: the more you study anthropology, the more depressing it gets, because you realize how deep we are entrenched in these systems of injustice. And I think I just never imagined that that type of change was possible. So yeah, really, really, really hopeful for the future.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Jessica, for taking some time out of your very busy life to come and sit down with me.
Absolutely. Thank you for your time so much, Amber. It's great to meet you, and thanks for inviting me to speak and sit down with you. So.
Absolutely. Well, everyone, you can catch a new episode of the Centennial Conference Corner each and every week at centennial.org or on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Centennial Conf. And until next time, we'll see you later. Bye.